So guys, we are going to go over none other than Chains of Liberation, the EX-08 set. We're going to go card by card, take a look at all the goodies that you're going to be looking at. So, and hopefully pulling sooner than later, but JP just got it. But we're going to be getting this in January, so it's going to be fun to talk about, shall we? So let's take a look at color code combinations. We are going to go from red, blue, yellow, green, black, purple. So just the normal standard, we're going to take a look. So first off, you have Koromon here. When attacking, if this Digimon has Tyrannomon in its name or the dinosaur trait, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. So basically what you're going to do is combo in with the Agumon here. That gives another boost, but it also looks for a Tyrannomon and or the reptile or dinosaur trait and one of Utero Williams among them from to your hand, return the rest of the bottom of the deck. So basically you're looking at Williams here and he's your mem setter, but when one of your Digimon with Tyrannomon its name attacks, by spending this tamer, this Digimon may digivolve into a card with Tyrannomon its name or the dinosaur trait from your hand for its Digivolution cost reduced by 1. Not a bad 3-cost tamer, and being not a mem setter, but being able to extend your plays with 1 memory is kind of useful. So you kind of combo it with your new Tyrannomon, which gives another DP boost, security at the end of battle, play this card without paying its cost. So it's kind of cool to revamp the old strategy with the newer kind of cards here. So there was a, back in the day, kind of just, you know, security Digimon that you would hit in and they would just come out to say hi. And then start of your main phase or when Digivolving, this Digimon gets plus 3000 DP until the end of turn. Not bad. And then you have Master Tyranno giving Fortitude, and then on play when Digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon. Then if this Digimon is suspended, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8000 DP or less. And it gives security attack plus 1. The thing is, this card alone just screamed, oh, I'm going to be, you know who? Durabrick support. So Master Tyranno is just another target for that deck. So just keep that in mind. And then the boss monster of that deck is going to be security attack 1, Fortitude on play when Digivolving, Dinomon. So on play when Digivolving, suspend 1 Digimon, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon, suspended Digimon with the lowest DP. Then opponent's turn, when this Digimon is suspended, all your opponent's Digimon can only attack suspended Digimon. So what's really nice is this DP boost makes it so it's very hard for your opponent just to remove this. So if you give it a +2/+2, making it a 17,000 Digimon, it's gonna make them have a bad day. So just keep that in mind that you can apply pressure that way. And then you do have like Candlemon here that's on deletion, gain 1 memory, and then this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. This is part of your nature spirit. So just keep that in mind. We have Meramon that is on play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less, and then plus 2000 DP. Then Skull Mara is just a free evolve and then security attack 1. And they didn't really get a mega for it in this color combination. It's part of the deck. It's like a triple color deck that kind of just splashes everything. Then we did get a Gallantmon X antibody line improvement. So when any of your opponent's Digimon are deleted, gain a memory. On play, when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card, Growlmon or Gallantmon in the same, and 1 X antibody among them to your hand, return the rest of the bottom of the deck. So really nice, a great searcher, and it doesn't have like any weird restrictions, and it's a 2-color. So I think Gallantmon X antibody is actually pretty solid, and it's definitely a 4 of in that list. Then you have Growlmon X. When Digivolve and draw a card, trash a card in hand. Then if Growlmon or X antibody is Digivolution until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon gains on deletion. You may play 1 Digimon with Gallantmon in its name from trash without paying its cost. Allowing you to do an early aggression play is really solid, but all turns, or even if they just pop the stack, this now guarantees you to get a floating body, besides having to worry about scrambles. But you know what? When your opponent's Digimon are deleted, gain a memory for Growlmon X. Then you do have War Growlmon X, security attack 1. But what's really nice about it is until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon can't be returned to hand or deck. So it's given a small protection that this deck actually kind of needed. This is kind of like similar to the counterparts of Black War, Metal Greymon X antibody that kind of just gave it its solid enough protection that just keeps it so it sticks on the board just for that one turn it needs to just continue applying pressure. So being able to prevent it from going back to hand or deck is really solid. If they can just delete it outright, you're kind of screwed, but to be honest with you, Gallantmon X is kind of what this deck kind of needed. You know, it gets plus 3000 DP, so it makes it a big booty. And then if your opponent's if your Gallantmon or X-Digimon is Digievolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less, and it gets a security attack +1. So with other inheritables, you can easily pop things because that 10,000 DP can easily bump up higher. Then you do have the first secret of the set, Gallantmon X. So it is a red, blue, yellow. So if anybody's wondering why it's not purple, it's because of the X antibody change in its body that it lost the purple aspect. So when Digivolving one attack on Gallantmon or X Digimon Digievolution, this Digimon gets plus 4,000 DP, and one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. So great minusing removal, triple color threat. And then when Digivolving end of attack, once per turn, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less. If the effect did not delete, trash your opponent's top security card, and this Digimon unsuspends. While you have 0 or less memory, this Digimon is unaffected by effects of your opponent's Digimon. So if they pass it back to you on the scale, you're affected. But this card has a pseudo protection that's kind of very interesting. As long as it's their turn and they haven't pushed it back to you and they're doing shenanigans, they're not going to stop you. So just keep that in mind when you're actually looking at decks wise. Gallantmon X might be worth competitive wise. Now we got some blue stuff we want to talk about. Now time to get into none other than the blue stuff. This is Bukamon. This one is when attacking, if you have 0 memory, gain 1 memory. So this is for the DS, basically the other version of the Nature Spirits. So it's another tricolor deck, which is the Ice-Mon theme. So if we take a look, we have like Gomamon here, who is Sea Beast and DS, which is reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with DS in its trait and 1 card with Sea Beast or Plesiosaur, trade among them to your hand, return the rest of the bottom of the deck. This is a very solid card for this deck, and it's very powerful, and if you have 7 or fewer cards, draw a card. So drawing is always king, right? Then we do have, even still, DS is all about the blue, so we'll just talk about it all. Crabmon on play, one of your Digimon gains blocker until the end of turn, and then it gives jamming inheritable. Why does blue just get 100 jamming inheritable rookies? Like, to be honest with you, they don't need that many. Give it a new skill or something that isn't broken, but yeah, jamming, swing, 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 fun. To be honest with you, I love that Crabmon just threw DS on it and just got the blocker shenanigans. It's like, doesn't all aquatic already have a version of this? But you know, now DS, it can be searched on top of it. Then we do have Penguinmon. That is going to be straight up when the Digimon would digivolve into a card with ice trait, reduce the digievolution cost. This is just basically, you know what happened? We are finally going to give you the ice snow trait that you wanted. So Hexaplow finally has this combination piece in the form of the bear line. So Penguinmon also gives one of your opponent's Digimon security attack -1 until the end of their turn. So basically less damage you'll have to take. Dolphinmon is just a 1 cost evolve on your DS, or just in general 1 cost. And then when attacking, if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, draw a card. So it's just going to keep your momentum and trying to keep your hand size decent. Then you have Seadramon giving jamming because they need another jamming on a level 4 when Digivolving, gain a memory. Then you have Frigimon that's got Ice-clad, so the changing of the battle mechanics is always a cool skill, especially because you do have Mother D Reaper running around. You do have decks that are basically Magna X, all just running around, and you gotta just do what you need to. On play, when Digivolving, trash the bottom 2 Digievolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if your opponent has no Digimon with Digievolution cards, gain a memory, and the security attack 1. Then you have Polar Bearmon, Ice-clad. On play, when Digivolving, trash 2 Digievolution cards from your opponent's Digimon. Then one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digievolutions cannot suspend or activate when Digivolving effects until the end of turn. And then while your opponent has no Digimon with Digievolution cards, this this Digimon with Ice Snow, gain traits, gain piercing, and security attack 1. So here's where you're applying the pressure and just piercing through. Then you have MetalSeadramon on play when digivolving one of your Digimon on suspense, and then when attacking if you have one or more memory, one of your opponent's Digimon can't suspend until the end of their turn, which is a neat effect, actually. This is kind of funny. If you have one or more memory, one of your opponent's Digimon can't suspend until the end of turn. So MetalSeadramon is a very powerful skill for its when attacking. It's a continuous keeping, pressure going, because if you can stop them from suspending, you can get in free damage very easily. So when attacking by placing one of your other Digimon as a Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, it unsuspends. So we got another one of these things that just basically says, you know what, Hankumon wasn't enough, let's give it on MetalSeadramon. So now we have plenty of unsuspend shenanigans. And then it's been a hot second, but we have a Jogress DNA Digivolve with, blue level 4 and then a purple and black for Whamon. You know how long it's been since we've actually had a good Whamon? I think this is, or is this the first time we're getting a Whamon? I don't think so. I would be completely Whamon. 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 We know it's Whamon. Why is it being a butt? Yeah, it's been a hot second since BT7 since we've had Whamon that was trying to do the same shenanigans as it's trying to do now with the decent on play, be able to spit some bodies out, and then you had King Whamon trying to do the same thing. So on play when Digivolving, you may place one card with DS traits from your trash as a bottom Digivolution card. End of attack, you may play one DS trait Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less from this Digivolution card without paying its cost, and then your turn, this Digimon's attack cannot be changed. So it's a really powerful skill, to be honest with you. Whamon being able to prevent your opponent from changing your attacks is huge. And I love that it is a Jogress, so now the deck has a consistent Jogress, because they're going to spit out bodies, and now you can just consistently get into a new body that's able to attack and apply damage. Now we got into MetalSeadramon Ace. So it's been a while since we even had a good MetalSeadramon that is its own archetypal shenanigans. The last one was straight up, I think, from the beginning. MetalSeadramon. So yeah, the last one was seriously BT2. You had MetalSeadramon playing in BT15, which was Dark Master's support, but MetalSeadramon getting finally that good old facelift. So this thing is brand spanking new. So this card is pretty nutty in its own right. So on play when Digivolving, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 7 or less to the bottom of their deck. All turns while you have one or more memory, none of your opponent's Digimon can suspend. So again, they can't use Blitz to kind of just get game anymore, which is kind of good because MetalSeadramon, as long as it's still on the board, it has some value. Then you have Plesiomon here. So when Digivolving, you may play a level 4 or lower from this Digivolution card without paying its cost. And then when any of your Digimon are played or Digivolved, if you have the DS trait, 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a DS traded Digimon in your hand. Then that DNA Digimon may attack. So Plesiomon being able to get your Whamon to just DNA shenanigans or anything else is quite valuable. So being able to DNA is huge. Then you have Skidimon. So Skidimon is kind of interesting, actually. It looks pretty cool, actually. Giant teddy bear, snow teddy bear. Let's go. So Ice-clad barrier, you may play one level 4 or lower Ice Snow trait Digimon from your hand without paying its cost. For each of your opponent's Digimon no Digivolution, add 1 to the maximum level. And then when Digivolving and when attacking by placing one Digimon with no Digivolution as the bottom security card, this Digimon unsuspends. So you can at least get 2 to 3 attacks in, which is really solid, actually, which is kind of what you want to do anyway. And I think this is a really good solid way of introducing the deck. Ice-clad's going to have some legs to stand on. I don't know how many, but at least 2. Then Ice-clad here is a facelift and a half 2. Tiny little head though. I'm gonna go it finally got a boost by 1000 DP. And then when Digivolving, return 14 play cost total worth of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom deck. If DNA, you may play a 12 play cost total worth of DS traits from your Digivolutions without paying its cost. And then all turns when one of your Digimon have one or more, while you have one or more memory, none of your Digimon with DS traits are affected by effects of your opponent's Digimon. While you have one or less memory, none of your opponent's Digimon's on-play effects can activate. So this is pretty good. It keeps a protection for you on your turn, so you can swing in with no fears or qualms. You're most likely all jamming, so you'll just do a bunch of damage. But while it's your opponent's turn, none of their on-play activates. So they're not going to be able to get searching off, anything like that from their rookies. So that's huge, actually. And if they had to on-play anything else, it's kind of just value town there. Then you have Suzune Kazuchi. So it's another one of those 3-cost memory gainer tamers that just basically start a main phase, gain a memory, and then all turns when one of your Digimon are played or Digivolve, if any of them have Snow trait, by suspending this tamer, trash one Digivolution of one of your opponents. So a lighter Sora Joe that also is just part of its deck's theme, and it's a liberator. It kind of just does what it wants. Then you have DS, so Deep Savers, which is DS. So another way of introducing field spells. So while you don't have face-up security cards, you may ignore this card's color requirement. While you have one or more memory, none of your DS Digimon can be deleted by battle. So basically, we just got the teddy bear effect from the original set. If you guys remember, you slammed that down in 02. If you're brand new, basically what it did was, let's bring up, because a lot of players that are new don't know about like the old days when we had 01. I forget, what was it, Hugs or something like that? It was such a weird card, not Hug Attack, but it was just super weird. It was set 1.5. Let's see. Let's pull up the image of this card real quick. There it is. We need to stop the fighting. So I'm thinking it's Teddy Bear Hugs or something like that, because it's this card, because, you know, Mumzemon's in the back. So neither player's Digimon can be deleted in battle for the turn. So we stopped the fighting, made it so that the rookie rush could apply pressure that way. And it's kind of cool. So while you have one or more, none of your DS traded Digimon can be deleted by battle, which is really solid because now they can block and you still have your bodies. And then main, add your bottom security card to your hand, then place this card as a face up as your bottom security card. And then all turns, you may play one level 5 or lower trait Digimon card from your hand without paying its cost. So if that's what they hit it, but this security all turns is a great way of giving a field spell to a deck, giving a unique style of play that I think is going to be long-term fun. Then yellow's got basically the short end of the stick of the set, but let's be honest, yellow kind of got everything in Infernal Ascension, so it's time for yellow to take a small step down. Tapirmon is all turns your opponents can't gain memory other than by tamer effects, the last memory negator that we've needed. Then you have Whamon X antibody. Return one option with plug in its name from trash to your hand, and then when you use an option with a 2 cost or more, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. So I definitely say Whamon X will see play. 8mon, it's been a hot second 8mon, but Nature Spirits definitely got you some new tech in. So when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. Then you have Pumpkinmon being a Jogress for Nature Spirits. Or is it Nature Spirits? I forget what it's Nature Spirits. No, NSO. NSO. I forget what that one's called. We'll see it in purple. Not Nature Spirits. It's NSO. Sorry if I've been calling it Nature Spirit. On play, when Digivolving, return one NSO trait from your trash to your hand. On deletion, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP. On deletion, recovery 1. Then you have Mammothmon. You may play one NSO trait Digimon with a play cost 3 or less from your hand without paying its cost. On deletion, give 2 of your opponent's Digimon minus security attack until the end of turn. And then it gives minus 4,000 DP when attacking to one of your opponent's Digimon. Then you have Marine Angemon, that is DS as well. Deep Savers. So security at the end of the battle, give 2 of your opponent's Digimon security attack 1 for the turn. Then add this card to your hand. And then all turns while you have 1 or more memory, none of your opponent's Digimon can activate when Digivolving effects. Being able to shut down when Digivolving effects means none of your opponent's aces will activate, which is nasty in some circumstances because that basically is another way of shutting down aces. Skull Mammothmon. So when Digivolving, if you play one NSO, traded Digimon with a play cost 5 or less from your hand or trash without paying its cost, and on deletion, recovery 1. And then basically Whamon X antibody. Probably the weakest facelift for an X antibody, to be honest with you. So when Digivolving is Whamon or X antibodies in his Digi-Evolution cards, play one Ukun Minamana, the wolf token, and then your turn, once per turn, when any of your Digimon attacks, you may use one single color option with a cost 5 or less from your hand without paying its cost. If you did, one of your Digimon unsuspends. This thing is okay at best. I think it's a mid card. I don't think this is going to see much competitive play, and from what I remember, there has been a lot of misplaying with this card combination with some of their other cards in the Whamon builds. Just giving you a heads up. Just keep that on the watch. I don't remember what people are misplaying with it. I have to double check, but I know there's somebody that mentioned that a lot of videos are misusing Whamon X, and it's not as strong as people are thinking because they're using it in the wrong way. So just keep yourself in mind that way. And then we got some green stuff. Bugs got some support. Then you have Nature Spirit. So when any of your other Nature Spirit traded Digimon are play, if this Digimon has Nature Spirit trait, it may attack. Then we have Agumon Purple. So this is just to help out with our good friend. Guess who? You know what I'm talking about. So this one is straight up for Tyrannomon, giving it another line to work with. So retaliation, as it's inheritable on play, you may suspend 1. So this is straight up for Dinomon, so that it has its complete line to be able to play off the bat. Then you have Dark Tyranno, so on play when you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of their tamers can't unsuspend until the end of turn, and it's got Retal. And then Metal Tyranno is on play when Digivolving. You may suspend one Digimon. Then if this Digimon is suspended, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, and this Digimon cannot be returned to hand or deck until the opponent's effects or affected by Digi-Evolution until the end of turn. This card is great in Mugen. This is going to be great in green and black decks. The fact that black is just basically here to give all colors a splash of Digi-Evolution is crazy. And then all turns when this Digimon... If this Digimon deletes your opponent's Digimon in battle, trash the top card as security. Wow, Mugen doesn't even have to put in work anymore. He can clear 5 security without even doing a thing. So, crazy, right? Then you have Tentomon, so reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Insectoid Trader and 1 Nature Spirit trade among them to your hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Then you have Kabuterimon on play when Digivolving, suspend 1 Digimon. This Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP as an inheritable. Then you have Mega Kabuterimon, that's Fortitude, and then while this Digimon is suspended, it gets plus 3,000. While this Digimon deletes an opponent Digimon by battle, trash the top security card. I like that it's the purple one instead of the red one. Then we do have Hercules Kabuterimon Ace. On play when Digivolving, you may suspend 3 Digimon, up to 3 Digimon for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon by this effect, gain a memory. And then all turns, when this Digimon becomes suspended, one of your Digimon gains piercing and gets plus 3,000 DP until the end of opponent's turn. Just really solid, great effects. Hercules Kabuterimon Ace is really solid in Tyrant, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in a lot of decks going forwards. Then you do have the final card with Gallantmon. So when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. This is for NSO. Then return one of their suspended Tamers to the bottom of the deck. And then your turn, for each color of this Digimon's Digivolution cards, it gets plus 1000 DP. While your opponent has no Digimon with equal or higher DP, this Digimon gets piercing and security attack 1. So basically, the rabbit's going to apply some pressure. Why did someone say, let's make the minion monster plus serum and spit it on a rabbit? Then we have Nature Spirits. All turns, all your Nature Spirit Digimon gains Alliance. This is going to apply a lot of crazy pressure for its security. So another field spell, and then add your bottom security card to your hand, then place this card face up as the bottom security card. And then basically you get to play a level 5 traded from your hand without paying its cost if it's hidden security. So really powerful across the board. And then our final secret. So it's got Alliance and Vortex. So while this Digimon would be played by suspending 2 Digimon, reduce the play cost by 4. So really solid for a just play it for 7 cost. When Digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon, then you may delete one of your opponent's 8000 DP or lower Digimon, and then for each other suspended Digimon, add 3000 DP deletion to the maximum. And then all turns, when Digimon are played, you may activate one of this Digimon's when Digivolving effects. So kind of really solid to get to be able to activate its when Digivolving effect twice. Kind of folds to, Venusmon, but you know what? Being able to have Vortex and Alliance is really strong. Then we do have a really solid lineup for black. So Tumblemon, basically when an effect trashes this evolution card of a mineral or rock traded Digimon, gain a memory. So just giving you a heads up, it's been a hot second since we've had a solid, and I mean solid, Digiburst-esque theme thought come through, and this is basically playing Digiburst without having the keyword Digiburst. I know Digiburst was a big fan favorite back in the day, but now we kind of just have another way of doing it. So Gutsumon is a blocker by trashing 1 card with mineral or rock trait, draw 2 cards, and it's just blocker. Senrizamon is basically your searcher. It's going to search the top 3, add 1 card with mineral or rock trait and 1 card with liberator trait among them to your hand, return the rest to the bottom deck. When an effect trashes this card from a mineral or rock traded Digivolution, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 4 or less. Then you have Landramon, which is just a sandcastle, Sanrizamon. So when Digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers, you may play 1 close from your hand without paying its cost. So basically, if you can get close in your hand, you're going to be in a good shape. And then while effects trash this Digivolution card of your mineral or rock traits, delete one of your opponent's play cost 4 or less. So at least you get to kill some rookies if you Digiburst out. Golemon gives blocker and heritable, and on play, on deletion, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Then you have Gogamamon. So this card is a blocker on deletion. It's been a while since we even saw this card. So reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 rock mineral traded Digimon with a play cost 5 or less from among them without paying its cost. Trash the rest. Opponent's turn. When any of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target of this Digimon. Then you have Proganomon. So this card is the Senrisamon's line. It's got 3 ridiculous keywords, by the way. Collision, Piercing, and Fragment 3. When this Digimon would be deleted by trashing 3 Digivolution cards, it isn't deleted. So basically, the only way you're removing this is bouncing it or putting it in security or bottom decking. So you got 3 ways of getting rid of it in blue. So basically, blue gets to poop on this deck like always. I don't understand why we don't just give it some sort of crazy more inheritables, but when this card is trashed from a mineral or rock trait Digimon, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So this will all come together when we get into Pyramidmon. So Bancho Golemon, blocker all turns when this Digimon, when your opponent Digimon has a Digimon with 13,000 DP or more, this Digimon gains plus 5,000 DP. So basically that Magna X you've been sitting on like a, playing with a tool wise, we're gonna make sure we can play catch up. On deletion, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 mineral or blocker traded Digimon with a play cost 8 or less among them without paying its cost. Trash the rest. So Bancho Golemon just being able to apply pressure that way. Then you have Pyramidmon, which has Pyramidmon. Basically got those lips for days. But when Digivolving, when attacking, trash 3 mineral or rock traded Digimon from this Digivolution card. This Digimon unsuspends and gains security attack 1. End of your turn, you may place 3 minerals or rock traded from the trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. So he self-fulfills his own effect, keeping Fragment going on your opponent's turn, basically, if they do anything to this thing. And then basically when attacking, you get to apply pressure and get another attack in. And it's not once per turn, so if you can get like a bunch of these with Close's effect, which is really awesome. Close is waifu material, so the AA is going to be expensive. So start a turn, it is your mem setter. And then your turn, when any of your Digimon digivolves into a rock or mineral trait, by spending this tamer, place 2 Digievolution mineral rock traits traded Digimon at the bottom of your Digievolution card. This is just really solid. Closes just wants to be closed. And then we got Zophang Kobus, Zophor Kabus. So this card, we're going to ignore the fact that it looks like something else, but that is his hand. So on play, by trashing 1 Digivolution or 1 mineral rock traded Digimon until the end of your opponent's turn, it gains collision, piercing, and reboot plus 3000 DP and cannot be returned to hand or deck by your opponent's effects. So it can only be turned into security. So let's take a thought process. They went, you know what, Final Zubugon Punch is not good enough anymore. We're going to make a new Final Zubugon Punch. This is just an in-house version, which is really solid for a deck like this, and I like where they're going. And then we have Cyberdramon X. So when Digivolving, if you have Cyberdramon or X any mod Digivolution, you may place 1 device trait option from your hand or trash into the battle area, which is self-fulfilling its own effect. And then when Digivolving, by trashing 1 of your options in the battle area, Digivolve 2 of your opponent's Digimon, and then trash 1 of your options in the battle area, trash 1 of your opponent's top security cards for when attacking. For an inheritable, this card is a definition of an upgrade for Cyberdramon decks. So that Cyborg X antibody, another way of Mugen just having another Cyborg shenanigans, is funny to me. Then you have Digimon X. So it has rush, piercing, and security attack. So eventually it's going to have like 30 different keywords. When attacking, activate 1 Digivolving effect of 1 of your Digimon with Digimon in its name and its Digivolutions cards as an effect of this Digimon. And then end of your turn, if your opponent has an unsuspended Digimon, this Digimon may attack a player. Really solid. We're getting ways of attacking players, even adding more pressure, which is kind of funny to me. So yeah. Now we're getting into the final ones, which is Nightmare Soldiers. That's what NSP is. Nightmare Soldiers. So this is the final piece here. Taking a look, Demimera is if this Digimon has Nightmare Soldier trait, by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete 1 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Then you have Sukuamon, basically on deletion, draw a card, trash a card in your hand. When attacking, delete 1 of your opponent's level 3s. Then you have Gutsumon, basically on deletion, gain a memory. When attacking, delete 1 of your opponent's level 3s. Then it's Marine Devimon, Scapegoat. If you have 1 or more memory, you may play 1 level 4 or lower DS. Mollusk or Katurian traded from your trash without paying its cost. On deletion, you may play a level 4 or lower Digimon with DS, Mollusk, Deep Save, Mollusk, or Centurion trade from your trash without paying its cost. So just taking a look at the straight effects here. Then we also have for the Nightmare Soldiers, it's a searcher, basically add 1 card with Nightmare Soldier trait, 1 card with Fallen Angel trait among them, return the rest to the bottom of the deck, and then when attacking, draw 1, trash 1 card in your hand. Then you do have Gutsumon. God, I am bouncing around way too much. We have Devimon as well. On play, when Digivolving, trash 1 card in your hand. 1 of your opponent's Digimon gains on deletion, trash a card in their hand until the end of turn. Fallen Angel and Nightmare Soldier, draw a card, trash a card in your hand. Then you do have Myotismon, that is a Nightmare Soldier. This is where you finally get Bolt Baltamon being able to do its shenanigans. So when Digivolving, you may play 1 Nature Spirit traded Digimon card with play cost 3 or less from your trash without paying its cost. Your turn, when your Digimon are played or Digivolved, if you have any Nightmare Soldier traded, two of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a card with Nature Spirit trait, not Nature Spirit, Nightmare Soldier trait in its hand, then DNA Digivolve may attack. And then when Digivolving, delete 1 of your opponent's other Digimon, then unsuspend. Then we do have Piedmon Ace, which is the final ace of the set. So Blast Evolve, you know what to do. On play, when Digivolving, activate the effect 4 times. So this thing minus is 8k. Spread out. And then all turns, when another Digimon are deleted, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Nightmare Soldier traded Digimon from your trash without paying its cost. So it's got Overflow -4. You know the drill here. Then you have Boutmon. So when Digivolving, de-Digivolve 3 of your opponent's Digimon. And then for the turn, all your opponent's Digimon get minus 6,000 DP. Then if you DNA Digivolve, you may play a 10 play cost total worth of Nightmare Soldier traded Digimon from your trash without paying its cost. So this thing's just going to flood the board with more annoyances, which you can just do with your Paildramon Ace, which is crazy. So basically you Jogress, and if you have a Piedmon Ace in trash, you'll be able to clear board now. All turns, when another effect, other Digimon are deleted, trash your opponent's top security stack, which you can DNA with Paimon MetalSeadramon for 0, but you can also do the color combination, which is kind of funny. Then you have Nightmare Soldiers that give Scapegoat to your Nightmare Soldier traded Digimon, all your level 4 or higher, and then add the bottom security card to your hand, then place this card face up as a bottom security card. While you don't have face up security cards, you may ignore this color requirement. So they do all have that ignore the color requirement, but also it just plays a level 5 Nightmare Soldier. Then we do have Whamon X Antibody, who did not get a facelift. It got a downgrade. So when Digivolving, when attacking, your opponent may trash 1 card in their hand. If the effect didn't trash, you may play 1 Fallen Angel traded Digimon with a play cost 7 or less from your trash without paying its cost. All turns, when a card is trashed from your opponent's hand, if Bagra or X Antibodies Digivolutions, trash the top card as security. Then you have 7 Jewelerize. So when any of your Digimon Digivolves into Bagra X, by returning this card to the bottom of your deck, activate the main effect. Your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, then trash 1 card in their hand, then delete one of your opponent's level 7 or lower Digimon. For every 3 cards in your opponent's hand, remove the 1 from this effect level. So you guys, there's no way of getting your opponent's hand size down enough where you can just kill a 7. There is no way in this game that this happens. And I'm sorry to say that, maybe in the purple mirrors, but that's about it. I'm just warning you right now. But all in all, guys, that is the whole set. What are you guys excited for in EX-08? Let me know down in the comments. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.